Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the 2025 Brannon NB Mixed Curling Championship from Curl Mountain. I'm Bernie Savoy, and I'm filling in for Steve Meserol today. And our game this afternoon will be a team from Capital Winter Club, skipped by Trevor Crouse, and his opponent is from Thistle St. Andrews, skipped by Kyle Hughes. So enjoy the game. We're going to get started here. As we see in this first end, Team Kraus has the hammer, and they are throwing the blue rocks, and the Hughes team has the yellow rocks. We have 15 teams lined up to play in the New Brunswick mix this year. Um, that's a big jump in number from last year. We do have a lot of young teams competing this year, which is great. And, we need the younger curlers to make the sport grow in New Brunswick. Um, we do have some wily veterans playing here this weekend, the Charlie Sullivans, the Grant Odishaws, the Sylvie Quillians, Brian Kings of the world. And they've all in the past have won championships for mixed and gone on to compete well at nationals. But great to see a lot of the young teams coming along and taking part and showing what they can do. Team Crouse wanted to come in behind those guards, just wicking on the guard in front, and he moved his shooter a little bit to the right. Here we have a call to hit that blue rock and roll a little bit towards the left. It didn't curl quite as much as they had hoped. So here we have Trevor Krause is asking to hit and roll over towards the right, under cover from his guard that he has on top of the 12 foot. Nice shot. It went behind. The two yellow rocks are just off of the center line. Um, it is a little bit exposed. So they're going to go after that. Team Hughes is going to try to hit and the rocks here at Curl Mountain were textured yesterday, so you will see quite a bit of curl. Even with board weight, you will see uh, it's curling quite nice right now. Here we have for Team Crouse, Mike Donovan. Second stone is attempting a hit and stick. Although the team is based out of Capital Winter Club, Mike Donovan is a member of Curl Mountain, and mate Carly Smith on the team is from happens to be from Moncton as well. Throwing a little bit of softer weight on that hit didn't completely remove the yellow rock. It's towards the back left side, and here we have Kyle Hughes wanting to remove the Crouse blue rock that was just thrown in. As I mentioned, there is quite a bit of curl on these rocks, so it's going to be a little bit of an adjustment at first for these teams to get used to the weight and the curl. But like any good curler, this is, you you'll quickly learn how the rocks move around, what ice to put, what weight to throw. Hit and roll over towards the right. Probably curl a little bit too much there for them. Here we have an attempt for a raised takeout, and needed to curl a little bit more there. So, the Crouse team is wondering whether they should draw another one in there or throw a guard. They're going to put a guard. Carly Smith made for the Crouse team, throwing her first rock, wanting to put a guard. Good weight, just curled a little too much, perhaps. Still figuring out where they're going to put the broom for these rocks. As I mentioned, they are curling quite a bit. We do have four other games going on here this afternoon. On sheet one, we have Matt Hughes versus Sylvie Quillian. On sheet two, we have Matt Stanley versus Rene Como. On sheet four, we have Abby Holmes versus Charlie Sullivan. And on sheet five, Brian King versus Jack Smeltzer. So we have teams from all over the province here. Some very good competition. Very nice shot from skip Kyle Hughes. So when filling in for Steve Muzzarell, I'm still working on how he's managing the scoreboard. So bear with me as I navigate through which stones are marked on your scoreboard, who has the hammer. So it'll come along sooner or later. So Crouse throwing his first rock here. Going to get a hidden stick. It's starting to curl a little too much here. Wick off of the guard up front, and he's rolled in over towards the left on the corner of the forefoot, just behind the tee line. Discussion here between Kyle Hughes and his mate, Catherine Sterling. Or actually, as I see here, it's Samantha Crook who's holding the broom for him. Some of these faces I haven't seen for a while, so we'll get this all straightened out. Last rock here for Hughes in this first end. Coming along nicely here. Jam on the back, but he is sitting one. Crouse is sitting number two, is Blue Rock in the back, and Hughes is number three over in the left. So Trevor Crouse here will attempt to hit and stick to score two. And here it comes. Looking good. Nice shot. So at the end of end number one, with Crouse two and Hughes zero. We'll be back in a moment.
Proud supporters of Curling NB. Hoop Lasso. Visit www.hooplasso.ca to learn about our mineralizer and to find a retailer near you. BrokerLink Insurance. BrokerLink has a group rate for members of Curling NB. Visit www.brokerlink.ca to get your quote today. The BRANNEN Icebreaker. The Jake Thomas Celebrity Curling Classic. The Government of New Brunswick. The Curling NB Hall of Fame. Visit www.facebook.com/CNBHOF for all information regarding the Curling NB Hall of Fame and this year's nominations. Egg Farmers Rocks and Rings Program. Visit www.rocksandrings.com to bring the Rocks and Rings program to your school's gymnasium or community function. Sport New Brunswick. Visit www.sportnb.com to learn more. Coaching Association of Canada. Visit www.coach.ca to learn more. And Curling Canada. Visit www.curling.ca to view all future upcoming events.
Uh, and we're back to the action. Starting play in the second end. So we have a switcheroo in the lineup here for Team Hughes. Excuse me. Catherine Sterling is throwing lead rocks. Joey Adair is throwing second. Samantha Crook is throwing mate, and Kyle is the skip. So here we have first rock of the end. Hughes had brought one into the rings. Crouse attempted to freeze onto it. They moved it back just a little bit, and then Hughes put a guard up front. Crouse was attempting to draw into the forefoot. It curled a little bit too much, and it just hit onto that guard, the center line guard. Now we're playing the no tick rule, which means that when in the first five rocks in the end, if your rock is on the center line, you cannot attempt to move it away from that center line unless it's your own rock. And if you do, then the rock that you've removed off of the center line gets to be placed back to where it was, and the offensive team's rock is removed. Hughes came in and made a nice little tap and roll over to be completely buried right now. Nice shot there. It's in a spot where Hughes is attempting to come onto that. Uh, could potentially wreck onto the yellow in the back. Joey Adair throwing his rock right now. They're right on it here. And just wicked off of that yellow. That was in the top of the button. It leaves it partially exposed, but I think Crouse, the idea here is to draw in another one, make it even tougher for Hughes to try to eliminate not one, but two blue rocks. Carly Smith delivering her rock. And very nice, very nice. Crouse now has two that are biting the button. So does yellow. Yellow on the right there appears to be number two. And the rock that was just delivered by Carly Smith for the Crouse team appears to be number one. Here's an attempt to get a little bit of action on those blue rocks. Didn't quite curl enough. So right now that blue is firmly number one for now. And they're going to just draw and come in on top of that, make it tough for Hughes to try to get a yellow in to try to score at least one on this end. Carly Smith throwing a draw. Very nice. It makes it could be quite difficult here for Hughes to try to eliminate a couple of those blue, the blues that are in the rings in the 4 foot. He's going to try a run back here, blue onto yellow, onto blue, get some action, try to clear things up a little bit, open it up a little bit. Oh, great shot. Great shot there. Not only were they able to get some action on those blues that were huddled around the button, but they were also create a little bit more of an opening down the center path. And Trevor Crouse is throwing a lot of weight on this one. Wants to get a hit and roll off of the yellow. And what a great shot there we're getting. They're quickly getting used to the ice. They're quickly getting used to the weight, where to put the broom. So now Hughes is faced with a decision of how to not only get a number one rock in there, but he's got two blues he has to deal with. Looks like he's wanting to get a little bit of action off of his own yellow and roll over and eliminate that blue that's number one. Well, it's number two right now from where I'm sitting. That one is number two. And here it comes. He's got good weight on that. Nice shot. So Hughes can use that if he needs to hit and roll over, or he could come in on the right side and bump back that blue, try to score a couple here. Crouse debating how Hughes might be able to get in and score a point and is looking for a way to minimize that so that at the most he doesn't want to give up more than two on this in this end. He's sitting number one, but Hughes has the next three shots over on the left-hand side. That all the games here are timed. They have a certain, they use thinking time, so um, they're all making sure that they manage their time appropriately, saving time for the right moment. They also have one timeout available during the game. So Crouse has chosen to draw on top of his blue rock that's sitting, and it's really taking off here. A little bit less weight than what he had anticipated. It did curl a little bit too much. I think we're surprised by that. So now Hughes can probably see about, Cal can probably see about 1/3 of that rock. Once he gets in the hack, he'll probably see about 1/3 of it. And with the broom he's using, if he throws no more than board weight, he should curl enough to get in there and bump back the blue that's sitting number one right now. That's certainly what he's hoping. Potential to pick up a big four here. And here we go. And it's starting to come along. Sweeper has to hold it. Great shot there. Oh, and he wrecked on the blue, hit onto the back. The blue hit onto the blue that was in the back of the rings, and he scored a big five there. So good comeback for team Kyle Hughes, and we'll be back in a moment.
Uplazo's all-purpose mineralizer is the ideal solution for your plants. Uplazo is 100% natural and offers your vegetables, flowers, trees, herbs, and houseplants a blend of more than 57 minerals, compared to the big brand fertilizers that offer 3 minerals at most. Uplazo enhances everything that grows. Get bigger, tastier, and more colorful fruits and vegetables while keeping bugs away naturally. For a garden worthy of grandma, use Uplazo all-purpose mineralizer.
And nice corner guard there. Attempt here by the Hughes team to do a little tap up of one of their rocks that are just on top of the 12 foot, and that was successful and bumped it up just a little bit. Crouse wanting to try to get rid of a couple of those to give himself more of an opportunity to pick up a couple of points here. Nice shot there by Mike Donovan, eliminating two of those rocks, bringing one into the rings, but it's wide open, so Crouse can make a play on that later on. Hughes now wanting to bring a rock to, for two purposes, to guard the one that's in the 4 foot and also to bring a second shot into the top of the 12 foot. Did curl a little bit too much, but and now Crouse will look to hit the yellow that's in the 4 foot and roll over a little bit towards the right under guard. So that shot by Mike Donovan he did hit and roll in behind cover. Perhaps not the shot that the rock today I wanted to eliminate, but mission accomplished to get one in behind cover. So naturally, Kyle Hughes would want to get rid of another opportunity to leave their well, that he was attempting to remove the blue guard. It did roll over a little bit and remove the yellow, his own yellow that was in the ring. So not quite, didn't quite turn out as he had anticipated. So of course now Crouse is going to want to put a guard up there, perhaps top of the 12 foot. Again, he wants to try to score a couple in this end. Well, that worked out not too bad. It partially covers those rocks in the rings. There is still visible, but going to make it a little bit tougher for Hughes to try to come in and eliminate the blue that's sitting on the edge of the 4 foot. Oh, very nice. Nice shot. Almost got the double there. Carly Smith, her first rock in the third end, looking to hit and go behind cover. She makes the hit. It does remain exposed a little bit. So the Hughes team will go after that shot, and they too wanting to get a hit and roll behind cover, make it tougher for Crouse to eliminate that rock. Again, Crouse is attempting to get a couple here. And the hit rolled over a little bit too much. He did make the hit, but it leaves it open here now for Trevor Crouse to remove that yellow rock. That's number one. And if possible, try to roll a little bit to the right and try to get behind the cover of the blue rock that's just off the center line. And the delivery is coming down. Nice shot. He did eliminate the yellow that was number one. However, it is exposed. And again here for Kyle Hughes, he wants to eliminate that number one rock. Hopefully flip over a little bit towards the right. Behind that guard, make it tougher for Crouse to try to score a second point here in this end. And here it comes. Looks like it's curling a little too much. Um, Perhaps a little bit of a misjudgment on the line call for that shot. So Trevor now has an opportunity to draw in, score three, and tie the game. As you see, he's got his rock, he's got his broom, I should say. Carly holding the broom just outside of the 8-foot line, so we'll get at least 4-foot curl, if not more. And here we go. Sweepers are encouraging their rock to get in there. Looks like it's going to work out. And we got a three, just like that. We have a tie game. And we'll be.
Uplaso's all-purpose mineralizer is the ideal solution for your plants. Uplezo is 100% natural and offers your vegetables, flowers, trees, herbs, and houseplants a blend of more than 57 minerals, compared to the big brand fertilizers that offer 3 minerals at most. Uplezo enhances everything that grows. Get bigger, tastier, and more colorful fruits and vegetables while keeping bugs away naturally. For a garden worthy of Grandma, use Uplezo All-Purpose Mineralizer.
And we're back. So Crouse was able to come away in that third end, scoring 3 to tie the game. Um, Unfortunately, Kyle Hughes' last rock to hit Krause's shot rock didn't work out, and Trevor was able to just draw it and score his 3. So here we have our first 2 rocks of the end. The Trevor Crouse team came into the rings perhaps a little bit farther in than they had hoped. They were hoping to get one that was top of the 12-foot or in the free guard zone. It just slid in a little bit too far. Yeah, so the Hughes team went in and removed that immediately. Looks like we're going to be playing a cat and mouse game here for a little bit. Bring one in the rings, hit it, and this time they would rolled away. And there the Hughes team wanted to put up corner guard, a little bit too heavy, comes into the ring, so Crouse team will look to eliminate that. Mike Donovan with his throw. Hit and stick. So an attempt to come up to the blue, a little bit too much weight on that one. A Crouse team likely want to bring one just into the right side edge of the 8-foot. It worked out not too bad. Joey Adair now going to throw his second rock. He has to try to get rid of one of these, the top one, the blue one that's on top of the 8-foot, or corner of the 8-foot. And nice shot, nice double. Get rid of those pesky blue rocks on the right hand side. Carly Smith now throwing her first rock, looking to take out the yellow that's in the rings. She does, and she rolls away. And here is Samantha Crook. Hughes now sitting 2. Carly's takeout had not quite worked out as she had anticipated, so now they're wanting to eliminate the rock that was just thrown by Samantha Crook from Team Hughes. And she does. I believe that one, it looks like it might be shot number 2. My eagle eye view over here doesn't quite give me a view from an overhead camera, but nonetheless, Hughes is going to take out that blue rock. Hit and roll. Trevor Crouse sweeping hard, trying to get that out, and he does. It did curl a little bit too much there at the end, and it did roll out, not quite what the Hughes team had in mind. So Crouse will be wanting to hit the yellow that's in the back of the 12-foot.
Uplaso's all-purpose mineralizer.
Nice shot. Kyle and Samantha debating on where they want to hit that rock. Kyle getting ready. Nice shot. And here we go with Trevor Krause's last Brock looking to hit and stick, forcing Hughes to either hit and stick for one or just to blank the end. It looks like they're probably going to blank the end. And here we come with Kyle's last rock at the fourth end. Looking to hit and roll out. And mission accomplished. So after 4 ends, we're tied 5-5. We're going to take a break. And we'll be back after the fourth end break.
Uplazo's all-purpose mineralizer is the ideal solution for your plants. Uplazo is 100% natural and offers your vegetables, flowers, trees, herbs, and houseplants a blend of more than 57 minerals, compared to the big brand fertilizers that offer 3 minerals at most. Uplazo enhances everything that grows. Get bigger, tastier, and more colorful fruits and vegetables while keeping bugs away naturally. For a garden worthy of Grandma, use Uplazo all-purpose mineralizer.
Proud supporters of Curling NB. Hoop Lasso. Visit www.hooplasso.ca to learn about our mineralizer and to find a retailer near you. BrokerLink Insurance. BrokerLink has a group rate for members of Curling NB. Visit www.brokerlink.ca to get your quote today. The Brennan Icebreaker. The Jake Thomas Celebrity Curling Classic. The Government of New Brunswick. The Curling NB Hall of Fame. Visit www.facebook.com/CNBHOF for all information regarding the Curling NB Hall of Fame and this year's nominations. Egg Farmers Rocks and Rings Program. Visit www.rocksandrings.com to bring the Rocks and Rings program to your school's gymnasium or community function. Sport New Brunswick. Visit www.sportnb.com to learn more. Coaching Association of Canada. Visit www.coach.ca to learn more. And Curling Canada. Visit www.curling.ca to view all future upcoming events.
And we're back. We're now into the fifth end. Hughes still has the hammer here. Score tied 5-5. There was a blank in that fourth end. Most of the other games are in their fifth end break. I'll give you a little bit of an update on sheet number one. We have Matt Hughes and Sylvie Quillian tied at 3-3. On sheet two, we have Matt Stanley leading Rene Como 3-2. On sheet four, we have Charlie Sullivan leading Abby Holmes 7-1. And on sheet five, we have Jack Smeltzer and Brian King tied 2-2. And just so that you know, you can get all the scores, all the details on this event by going to curlingnb.com, and you can see the section where it says scores and results. You'll have all of the scores, all team information, the draw, all you need to know to keep up to date on all the scores. Halfway through, folks. So as this end is starting to evolve, we have Team Hughes, of course, has the hammer. They want to position themselves to score one, if not two, and made a nice little hit off of the blue rock that was over on the left-hand side. Roll under, partially buried. There is still a little bit of an opportunity for the Crouse team to come in and hit that. They're sitting number two right now. There's a yellow rock in the back, so Hughes is sitting one and three, and Crouse is sitting number two. So they're going to attempt to eliminate the number one yellow rock. Mike Donovan just throws his first rock at this end. Hughes team wanted to do a hit and roll behind cover. It didn't quite curl like they wanted to, so Trevor Crouse quickly putting his broom for them to come and draw in behind their center line guard that they have, making it tougher for Hughes to try to score his point. Carly Smith throwing her first one, throwing draw weight, needed to curl a little bit more. A nice throw, just behind the pin. So Cal Hughes wants to hit that number two blue and get a little bit of a roll towards the shot rock that's just behind the pin there. Perhaps a little bit too much weight on that. It didn't really curl like they had anticipated. So they did eliminate that blue one, didn't get the rollover. Their rock went out of the rings, and it happened to jam onto the blue they were hitting, jammed onto the yellow that was hitting the back of the rings. So now Trevor Crouse quickly wanted to put another one into the 4 foot behind the guard. Come up a little bit light on that. So now here's a chance for Kyle Hughes to, using hack weight, nudge that blue one out and sit for number one, hopefully using the guards up front for cover. Looks like it's going to work out well. Very nice. Didn't remove the blue entirely from the rings, but and perhaps there was a little bit less weight than what they wanted there, but nonetheless, it did curl nicely. And now they're sitting number one, just above the pin. So Crouse naturally is going to follow them in there, trying to do the same thing that the Hughes team just did on their own. Very nice. It does jam the yellow onto the blue in the back, but nonetheless, very nice weight. And well into the 4 foot, Trevor Crouse sitting number one. And looks like they're going to be swapping the same shot one after another until somebody blinks and makes a mistake or hit and roll. Hit and rolled away, not exactly what Hughes was wanting to do there. I think perhaps there was a little bit more weight than they had needed there because the line was the same as what the last two shots were. Just a little bit more weight. It doesn't tend to curl quite as much. So we now have the Crouse team is having their broom in the spot where it's obviously going to want to bring it in into the 4 foot, undercover, try to sit one, try to put themselves in a spot where perhaps they can steal a point, making it tougher for Kyle Hughes to try to score here. The rock is coming down now. The sweepers really have to get on it here to, and they did a great job. They brought it into the top of the 4 foot. Nice throw by Trevor Crouse. They can perhaps, if I were Kyle Hughes, I could probably see a little bit of that rock over on the right-hand side. That's what he's doing. He's lining up to see how much he can hit. His preference here is to remove that, and his shooter remains and score two because he does have that yellow rock that's sitting in the back of the house, well inside the back of the 12 foot. Debating what kind of line and weight to use here. So I would think here that he would need to throw no more than board weight with that placement of the broom to try to tap the blue back out of the rings, sit and score 2. And here we go. The rock has been released. Looks like it's coming along pretty good. He removes the shot rock but wasn't able to stick around to score 2. However, he does pick up the 1 and at least got his point here. So we'll take a break and we'll be back in a second. And we're back. So we're now in the 6th end. Hughes is leading 6-5 over Crouse. And we'll give you a quick update on some of the scores in the other sheets. On sheet number 1, Sylvie Quillian is leading 5-3 over Matt Hughes. On sheet 2, Renee Como leading 5-3 over Matt Stanley. On sheet 4, Charlie Sullivan 8-1 over Abby Holmes. And on sheet 5, it's Brian King leading Jack Smeltzer 3-2. We'll give you some more updates later on. But as I said, go to curlingnb.com/scores and results. You'll get all the latest there. As this end is underway, Hughes had wanted to, in their first, had wanted to put a center line guard that came in a little bit too deep. The Crouse team had wanted to put a corner guard that came into the rings. So Hughes came and removed that. And now Crouse wanting to put a corner guard on the other side. Second, Joey Adair getting ready to throw his first rock. Crouse has the hammer this end. A little bit too much weight here. And it goes out of the rings. Mike Donovan throwing second stone, throwing his first one in this sixth end. Looking for a hit onto the shot rock. And he gets the hit, but it did roll a little bit away. Not quite what they had anticipated. Joey Adair looking to hit that blue rock on the outside, the back of the 12-foot. Nice shot for Team Hughes. So Trevor Crouse calling to hit that yellow that's in the back of the house. Mike Donovan throwing his second rock here. And he does remove it. However, there's still adjusting to the line calls on where to put the broom and the right amount of weight in order to hit and stick. Still an adjustment here. Hughes want to come in behind his shot yellow, hoping it would have curled a little bit more, but nonetheless, it does bring it in as he's now sitting 1 and 2. Crouse has no choice here but to deal with that. Carly Smith throwing her first in this sixth end. And she did have nice weight on that. It really took off at the end, curled a little bit too much. Once again, it appears here as if Kyle Hughes wants to draw another one in from Samantha Crook over towards the right side behind that top yellow, putting more pressure on the Crouse team to try to, their objective is to score at least one if it's making it a little bit difficult here. That came up a little bit short. So Carly Smith wanting to come onto the yellow shot that's in the back of the house. Nice throw. They are sitting number one. It's mostly buried behind the yellow guard out in front off of the 4 foot. So Kyle Hughes here on his first rock in this 6 end. Wanted to come up to the blue Crouse rock that's over on the right hand side. Freeze onto it, applying more pressure onto the Crouse team. Here it comes. So just a little bit more weight than they. Oh, they are number one. They did move aside to the blue a little bit towards the right. Blue is now number two. Yellow is one, and they're also number three and five. Blue is 2 and 4. Trevor Crouse here, getting ready to throw his first rock. He's going to want to remove the yellow that Hughes had just thrown to sit one. And the sweepers are on it hard here. Oh, very nice. Very nice. He hit to sit number 1 and 2. He's over on Team Crouse are sitting 1 and 2 over on the right side of the rings. Appear to be buried quite well. Hughes' best option here is to follow that in and freeze onto the number one blue rock, making it extremely tough for Crouse to be able to get a point here in this end, but very weight sensitive here. And Kyle Hughes' rock is well underway. Waiting for it to start curling some more. His teammates are not sweeping. It appears to have a little bit more weight than he had hoped for. But he did manage to bump back the number two blue rock. And he wicked off of the number one blue. Sitting number one right now, open for a takeout by Crouse. But he did in a shot by wicking off of the number one blue was able to push back to number two blue, so that now Crouse is forced to hit this, has to hit and stick, and if he does, he'll score two on this end. And here it comes. Carly calling the sweepers on it right away. Mike Donovan really pounding this. Oh, and an unfortunate wick. Might have been a little bit tight on the broom, but nonetheless, Hughes does score one more. And we'll be right back. It'll be 7-5 after six ends. And we're back. We're in the seventh end now. Very tight game, very close. The Hughes team is able to steal one in the sixth end. An unfortunate wick off a guard by Crouse on his last rock in the sixth end. And Hughes was able to steal one to be up 7-5 after six ends. Both teams having thrown their first rocks in this seventh end. Crouse needing to score a couple here if possible. Positioning himself to try to score here by placing his corner guard. Hughes, of course, started with putting a centerline guard to perhaps steal one again. Catherine Sterling's second attempt to come in and draw behind the guard she had thrown previously hasn't quite turned out here. So Trevor Crouse now wanting to have a rock drawn in behind that corner guard. Natalie Hearn throwing lead for Trevor Crouse, this team from Capital Winter Club. A Hughes team from Thistle St. Andrews. Very nice shot by Natalie. Good weight, good line. I would imagine here that now Hughes is going to want to try to eliminate that. Joey Adair throwing his first rock in this seventh end isn't curling enough. So unfortunately, it went through the rings. Mike Donovan now coming in to bring another rock into the rings behind those corner guards. Very nice shot as well. They're now sitting two, potentially setting themselves up to score a couple here. Joey, you're there. A second rock. Trying once again here to try to eliminate one of those. Two blues behind the corner guard. Went through the rings. Perhaps a line on that shot was a little bit off than what it should have been. And to try to build upon what the Crouse team is working on here, bring another one behind that corner guard and try to sit three. And another great shot. So now the Crouse team is sitting three behind that corner guard, realizing that they have to do something about that. The Hughes team now is deciding to peel off the blue corner guard and get some action that way. Samantha Crook. Nice peel on that. Trevor Crouse quickly wanting to replace that corner guard, put it back again. Carly Smith will be throwing her first rock this end. Very nice shot by Carly. Again, a peel of that corner guard by the team Hughes. Great shot. Mission accomplished. And wouldn't you know it, we're going to call for another corner guard. Crouse quickly putting his broom in the same spot. On a Carly to throw another corner guard. Very nice. Team Crouse building on some momentum here. They got three in the rings, have that corner guard covering it, hoping to score multiple points here. So now, Team Hughes looking for a way to get some action here and get a rock to fall into those three blues on the left-hand side. Attempting to get it a different way here. Hit off of his yellow, try to roll over. Didn't quite turn out as they had hoped. Had to hit that yellow one, his yellow one, a little bit thinner to get some action to roll over into those blues. Looks like we got a timeout. Team Crouse calling for a timeout. It's a pivotal moment in the game for them. They have three in the rings. They could potentially score multiple points here. Team is wondering what is their best option here. Do they want to put another guard? Do they want to come in with a fourth rock into the rings? Just a reminder, folks, that we will not be having a live stream this evening due to some scheduling difficulties. We will come live tomorrow morning, though. I believe that first draw tomorrow morning is at 9:30. So our next game will not be this evening. It'll be tomorrow morning at 9:30. So decision here. Crouse team will be eliminating that yellow, not giving an option for Hughes to use that again to try to hit and roll over. Mission accomplished. So now we have Kyle Hughes is choosing to draw in behind the center line. Guards that are there. Set one, hopefully have that completely buried so that Trevor Crouse can't get in to try to score his multiple points. It'll be a very precise shot here for Kyle Hughes because Crouse is already sitting four in there. And the stone is being delivered. The sweepers really have to drag this one. Perhaps a little light on the weight. It did start curling a little bit earlier than they anticipated. Trevor Crouse is sitting four right now, drawing in for a fifth rock. And the pendulum would switch over quite dramatically if Crouse was able to score a five here. And here we go. Sweepers are giving it all they have. Looks like they're just able to get it in the rings. Some great sweeping there. And a big 5 by Trevor Crouse in this 7th end to go up 10-7 on the Hughes team. And we'll be right back.
Uplazo's all-purpose mineralizer is the ideal solution for your plants. Uplazo is 100% natural and offers your vegetables, flowers, trees, herbs, and houseplants a blend of more than 57 minerals, compared to the big brand fertilizers that offer 3 minerals at most. Uplazo enhances everything that grows. Get bigger, tastier, and more colorful fruits and vegetables while keeping bugs away naturally. For a garden worthy of grandma, use Uplazo all-purpose mineralizer.
And we're back. We're now in the 8th end. These are 8-end games, by the way. And we have, in that 7th end, in case you missed it, Team Crouse was able to build upon the corner guard, effectively bring some rocks into play where they were able to score multiple points with a 5-ender to take the lead 10-7 on Kyle Hughes. Crouse brought their first rock into the rings, wanting to get Hughes to bait the Hughes team into hitting that. Of course, Hughes didn't take the bait, putting up a corner guard, instead trying to himself and their team try to build a way to get multiple points. They'll need 3 to tie it. In the event of a tie, we do play an extra end, a full extra end. And that one went through the rings, unfortunately. Hughes putting up corner guard on the other side. Again, this is a smart way to try to score some points, make good use of your guards. Don't get baited into the takeout. Still too early for any of that. You want to build up a way to score multiple points. And just to give you an update, we do have a final on sheet number 1. Quillian Team Quillian has beaten Team Matt Hughes by a score of 10-3. And we also have a final on sheet number 4. Charlie Sullivan came away with a 10-1 win over Abby Holmes. And I believe on sheet number 2, they're bringing the rocks back. It appears as if Rene Como has beaten Matt Stanley by a score of 7-4. So we have 3 games that are completed. Our feature game here is still underway. And on sheet 5, we have a very close game there. Brian King is leading Jack Smeltzer 5-4, and they're in the 7th end. Joey Adair throwing his first one. Blue is setting 1 and 2. And yellow was kind of trying to come in behind their corner guard and didn't quite turn out as they had hoped. So now Trevor Crouse is going to eliminate that corner guard, open it up, putting more pressure on Hughes to try to find another way to get some rocks in play to score multiple points here. They're going to put another corner guard, of course. Now here comes the attempt at the corner guard. And very nice shot. Once again, Trevor Crouse getting his mate, Carly Smith, to peel that corner guard, putting more pressure on Hughes. Mission accomplished. Hughes once again bringing in a corner guard. Taking a look at his time on the clock. Perhaps now looking for another option. They're now choosing to come in behind the other corner guard on the right-hand side. Try to bury behind there. The attempt to come in completely buried behind the yellow corner guard, partially successful. They wanted that a little bit deeper. They wanted it to curl a little bit more. Didn't quite turn out as they had hoped. So now Trevor Crouse looking to eliminate as many yellow rocks as possible. Putting that pressure onto the Hughes team. Mission accomplished there. So now Hughes wanting to draw right on top of those two blues that are in the house. And then hoping that Crouse misses on theirs. And however, the attempt to come in on top of the blue didn't work out. Not quite enough weight. So pressure on. here Crouse is looking to hit off of that center guard, roll over and eliminate the other one that's in the rings on the right-hand side. I think they're going to take a moment and discuss it. He's coming back down the ice, talk with his mate. I think they're just concerned about not hitting that center line guard in the right spot and jamming onto the back. So instead, he's going to bring another one in. He's going to draw one in, probably top of the 8 foot, right around the center line. That would put a huge amount of pressure on the Hughes team. So we'll see how this turns out. Coming along here. Looks like it might be a little more weight that they wanted. But the Crouse team is now sitting 3 in the rings. The Hughes team calling for a timeout. They want to give themselves enough time to really look at all possible options here, where to place their rock so that they can use that on their last one, potentially to pick up the 3 they need to tie this game. Once again, I want to remind our curling fans that our next game will be coming just tomorrow morning at 9:30. Um, However, if you want to catch all the scores on the evening games or all the games, go to curlingnb.com, scores and results, and you'll see all the latest scores. And we'll give you another quick update while waiting here for Team Hughes to prepare for their shot. On sheet number 5, the game between Brian King and Jack Smeltzer. Score is now 6-4 for King, and they are started the 8th end right now. The teams do have lots of time on their clock, however. They're just being cautious here. This is a critical time in the end for the Hughes team. I looked at many different options. So what they've decided to do is to play a run back on the yellow guard that's sitting on just off of the center line. Run it back, trying to spill out a couple of the blues that are sitting all around the button, hoping for the best. And that did curl a little bit too much. And that could be handshake time, folks. Although realistically, mathematically, there's still a chance for Hughes to score. Never say never. I think Hughes is already looking at the many different possibilities that he could try to score a three here. Trevor Crouse is simply going to try to throw another one in above those three blues that are sitting in around the button. Removing another possibility for the Hughes team to try to score. Looks like it's coming in to where they hoped it would go. So we've seen in the Grand Slams and the Adine teams of the world try to attempt these shots, and I guess the Hughes team decided that that was not going to happen. So, Team Crouse has defeated Team Hughes. Unfortunately, the end did not turn out for the Hughes team as they had hoped. And that'll bring the end to our broadcast this afternoon. As I said again, make sure you tune in tomorrow to watch some action at 9:30 in the morning. And we thank you all for joining us and have a great evening.